So when you would be in store with friend, you would look for vitamin A and you would think for it in tuna. Actually, no, you would find it in pasta sauce. You don't know anything about nutrients. Let me give you a look. It's got 10% of the vitamins of the A, so it would be good for your vitamin A. If you're looking for vitamin C, look no further than the green juggling dinosaur, because if you look on side, you find out, wow, it's got all sorts of good things. Most of all, it's got lots of vitamin C. So when you're with friend, again, you go look at the vitamin D. If you're looking for vitamin D, it's pretty simple. So you look at vitamin D, you find out at the very bottom it does 25%. So when you are at store with friend and you find out that you actually are pregnant, you need to find the folic acid. So you would look for pasta, obviously. That's the thing you should be doing. So you look at the ingredients and you find out that the folate is at 20%. So when you are at store with friend, and then you go looking at the bush for the beans, so you do the looking, right? And then you go in and let your thing balance out, and you find out the potassium 14%.
Oh, how nice.
It would be good for body, it would be good for soul. So you are at store with friend, and then you do the looking for the iron that is not red meat because your belly has problem. You do shrimps. So you look at shrimps and you find out that the shrimps have your 15% in the iron. Good for them. When you are at store with friend, so you do the looking and you're looking for something that gives you the calcium but does not quite give you the lactose issue. So you do the looking at silk. And you would think, isn't silk for clothing? And I'm just like, haha, you're stupid. So we look over at the foods and you find out that the calcium, where is calcium? Calcium is at the very high, so it is good for your body at 45%. This is the Greek yogurts. It is good with the stuff. It's got all sorts of tasties in it. It's high in protein. And then you're at the other side of store with friend. So you do the lookings and you find the regular yogurts. And you find out that there's significantly less protein.
Very nice.
I believe that is what we look for. You want to have fancy beverage with friend. So you be lookings and you find out that his favorite drinks is the Mountain Dew. So you'll find a new look and we do the balancing and you find out that for every 12 ounces you get 170 calories and 12 ounces is nothing. So you'd be drinking the whole thing and you'd find out that you would be having lots of calories. Lots of calories. It would be bad for you. So you're doing the project with friend and you find out that you're doing flaxseed. And the flaxseed's wonderful. It's got good stuff. It's the whole grains. And then you do the turnings around and you find that it does a really good job with polyunsaturated fats. So you do the lookings and you see that it's also good with the fibers and it's probably just a good thing to have for your body. So you're at the store with your friend and you find out that you want the ice creams. So you go to Haagen-Dazs and you make a look and you come over and you find out that there's all sorts of good and tasty stuff in here, so much and so little. And you find out that it's made of the chocolates and the creams and the milks and the sugars, and it's good stuff. It's not nasties, right? So you go look and you find out that you don't have money for Haagen-Dazs, so you find the cheap stuff, right? So then you go looking at the menus and you find out, holy cow, you've got so much stuff, that the corn syrups and the creams and the processed alkali with the whey proteins, and you find out that when you're looking for the ice creams, when you get the cheaper stuff, you get the cheaper ingredients. And that is the gist of what I think we're supposed to be looking for. If I were looking for something tasty, I would go for the Haagen-Dazs, one, because it's delicious, and two, it's got better ingredients. You are at the place with your friend, and you find out that you're needing to look at some milk. So you go to the vitamin D, which is the whole with vitamin D in it, and then you got the Skims milk. So you look and it's got all the tasty stuff, right? It's got all your saturateds and your cholesterols and your sodiums. And then you look and the skim milk has so much less. And you do the looking and you go to the ingredients and you find out that it's milk with skim milk. What the hell? And vitamin D. Then you find out that the skim milk is skim milk with vitamin A in it and vitamin D3. So they've got everything that you would want. If you were doing the consciousness with the calories, you would go skim, but I am no calorie conscious man, so I would do the vitamin D, mainly because it's got more tasty stuff in it. Now, if I had a saturated fat problem, I would go over to skim milk, but fat problem I might have, but vitamin D obviously better. Okay, so when you're at the store with friend, you find that you're going to be wanting the butter, and you have to be doing the choosings of what butter it is you look for. So we look and we find that we've got the spread type, you've got the butter type, and then you've got the margarine type. So we'd be doing the lookings, and you find out that the country crock with the spread has all sorts of tasty stuff in it, like the saturated fats and the total fats and the sodiums. And then you find out that your stick type butter, if I can find it, here we go, has a lot more of the same thing because it is solid, therefore there is more in it.
Yummy.
And then you've got the margarines, and you find out that it has less because, you know, it isn't real. And so when we compare, if we're looking for the good stuff, we would do the stuff here because it's got good. Stick type butter would be good for different things. Like if you are having the issues with the eating and you need more fats, you would find this. But it's got lots of saturated, it's bad for your heart. But this is the thing that you had us look for because it has no partially hydrogenated oils. If I can get it to focus. There we go. No hydrogenated oils. So this would be the better choice, I think. So when you're at the store with friend, and you have to find that you want these 3 ingredients, you want the milk chocolate, the frostings, and you want the peanut butter, and you want the ready-made baked good. So you find out that when you do the searching on the back, there's something very important, that you find that it's got the partial hydrogenates, and all 3 of these have the partial hydrogenates, and they're kind of with the bad, but you know what, you take the good, you take the bad. And you do with the partial hydrogenates, you got to do the focusing. And then, yeah, there it is. It's right,
Hiding.
right there with the vegetable oils. And you find out that this one does not have the transitive fats, but this one, however, does have the transitive fats. And then you find out that this one even advertises that it has no transitive fats. So if you were looking for the hydrogenated oils, you would find out that the peanut butter is the good choice. Okay, so you're at the store with your friends, and you find out that you're looking for the fiber. So we found the 3 things. This was the cop-out, but you know what? We're looking for fiber today. So we look at Mr. Red Mill's chia stuff. So you do the lookings, and you find that it has all sorts of the dietary fibers. It's 20% per serving. So you do the looking, and you'll find out that your totals also has the dietary fibers. So you've got the 11% with your cereal. You could have that with your breakfast. And then you find out that craisins, of all things, the cranberries, they do the dietary fiber. You do the lookings, and you find out that it does the 12%. You would have to eat half a serving of the craisins. You would have to eat half the serving of the totals. And you would have to do 1/5 of a serving with the seeds. So you would do the dietary fibers with these 3 items because they're all really good with the fibers. Okay, so you're at the store with your friends. I picked up a friend on the way, you see. So we do the lookings, and you find that you're wanting to get the calciums without getting the lactose. So you do the coconut milk with the... What is this? Is this the dairy-free with the yogurts? So it's good for you. And then you'll find out that it is with all the calciums. You find that when you look at the calciums, it's got 25%. And then you look at tofu. Wow, tofu, right? So you do the tofu, and you find out that it has 10% as the calciums. So it might not be direct, but it's still calcium. It'd be good for you. And then you do coconut milk. And you look, it's delicious. It's got the pretty bottle. And you do the lookings, and you find out that once we focus, that it's got the calciums at 45%. So this would be great for people with calcium issue. So these are the 3 things that you would be looking for, one of the 3 things anyway, if should you decide that you're going to be wanting the calcium without the lactose.